Donald Trump just sent a message to Nigeria's president, saying if he doesn't fix the killing of Christians in the north, his troops will invade Nigeria and do it for him.
An urgent message from President Trump demanding Nigeria stop the brutal murders of thousands of Christians in the country or face possible action from the Pentagon. He posted in part, quote,
"If the Nigerian government continues to allow the killing of Christians, the USA will immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country guns a-blazing to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. I am hereby instructing our Department of War to prepare for possible action. If we attack, it will be fast, vicious, and sweet, just like the terrorist thugs attack our cherished Christians. Warning, the Nigerian government better move fast."
It's the most deadly country to be a Christian on the planet, and they need our help and support.
America wants to save Nigeria. The same America that's still recovering from his own chaos.
With fighting intensifying and Gaddafi apparently digging in, pressure is building on the Obama administration to back up its tough talk.
It has maneuvered itself into a situation where, in effect, I wonder who's really stuck, us or Gaddafi.
A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy. That bomb has more power than 20,000 tons of TNT. The Japanese began the war from the air at Pearl Harbor. They have been repaid many-fold, and the end is not yet. With this bomb, we have now added a new and revolutionary increase in destruction.
It has been 10 days since Mr. Obama ordered U.S. forces into combat in Libya. Nearly 200 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched, more than 1,600 airstrikes. And so the challenge for the president: justify this war and show Americans that the U.S. role really will be brief and limited. One question has hovered over this mission: how is it in the strategic interests of the United States to go to war in Libya?
Do you think Libya posed an actual or imminent threat to the United States?
No, it was not. It was not a vital national interest to the United States, but it was an interest.
The U.S. invaded in March of 2003 with a massive bombing campaign and paved the way for ground troops to enter Baghdad. And in 2011, America withdrew from the nation, which left space for the terrorist group Islamic State, or ISIS, to move in and take control.
The same America is threatening to invade Nigeria to save us. I understand the sentiment. I get it. Nobody wants to see innocent people slaughtered. Religion or not, human lives are sacred. But I can't help but ask the obvious question. When has America ever fixed any country they've gone into?
My fellow citizens, at this hour, American and coalition forces are in the early stages of military operations to disarm Iraq, to free its people, and to defend the world from grave danger. On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance.
This is what it's like on the receiving end.
The Americans called the massive air raids with which they opened the war shock and awe. They claimed, wrongly, that this was the way to make the Middle East safer for everyone. Within weeks, they'd removed the Iraqi dictator, Saddam Hussein. Another false claim was that he had weapons of mass destruction.
The Iraqis did not knock down, it was not Saddam Hussein that knocked down the World Trade Center. Okay,
that's just what you said was they lied. They said there were weapons of mass destruction, and there were none, and they knew there were none. There were no weapons of mass.
Well, there are a lot of people that think that. There were a lot of people that think, look, bottom line, there were no weapons of mass destruction.
The US Navy flew President George W. Bush out to an aircraft carrier where he declared victory.
The tyrant has fallen, and Iraq is free.
He could not have been more wrong. The Americans hadn't worked out how they were going to replace Saddam Hussein's regime. In the end, they imposed a system that turned sectarian and ethnic groups against each other.
They arrive with Bible verses and bombs, then leave you with guilt and rubble. It's like making a deal with the devil. He might hand you a crown, but he's definitely measuring your neck for the guillotine. And now Donald Trump, the man who once called African nations shithole countries, suddenly cares about the killing of Christians in Nigeria. Oh, please. Let's not pretend this is about faith, because America's interest in Nigeria has never been about Jesus. It's been about oil, influence, control.
It's like Libya. We were the ones that caused Gaddafi's death because Hillary Clinton played a game over there, and I was the one that went over there during the war. Gaddafi asked me to come over. I took a Biden staffer and a Bush staffer and a film crew leader from ABC One in New York, Larry Menti, with me, and a cameraman, because I didn't want the CIA to set me up. I hand-carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The U.S. didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him.
Why?
Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. At every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like European gold, like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the U.S. and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil, and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous, and it's wrong.
Yeah, but that, I think, sounds right to me.
I mean, but we've allowed so many of our kids to be drawn into conflicts, to be killed. And these people doing this they've never served in any capacity in our country. They've never been in the military. They've never served on a fire ground. And it's outrageous that they think they can get away with this and sit back and make all this money.
It's the holy trinity of imperial politics. Religion is just debate. And to use religion in a country as volatile and divided as Nigeria, it's very insensitive. If you think about it, Nigeria is a ticking time bomb of faith and frustrations. We have Christians, Muslims, and traditionalists. But somehow we coexist. Barely. But you don't light a match in a room filled with gas fumes.
I watch with anger some of our people saying, no, not genocide, not genocide. No, there's no genocide in this country. They are buying all of us. Muslim, Christian, we all live happily in this country. We party together, we rock together, we eat together, we drink together. But the Bororos are the ones buying our people. If we are shouting genocide, 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 what about East? Sit at home on Monday and you see the lot of buying going on in the southeast. That is the southeastern part of Nigeria. All Christian, and Christian, they buy Christian there. Nigeria lives matter. Our lives matter. That's the core of the action. All of us needs protection. Muslim, Christian, Sheshe, everybody, we all need protection. So we pushing the narrative that no, it's genocide, it's genocide. If there is one president out of all the presidents that have ruled our country or that is ruling us right now, President Tinubu is one president that can never allow genocide. President Tinubu's wife, not Christian. President Tinubu's ugly, not Christian. He is not even like that. They even call him city boy. He's not wired in a local way.
But when an outsider cherry picks one narrative, suddenly it becomes a holy war. Suddenly, it's America's business. Suddenly, we need saving.
That's what I say. Is politics taking too far? The point is that I have always told everybody, in 2015, under Jonathan, people capitalized on these kind of things to take over power.
But you know what this is? Hypocrisy. Donald J. Trump. Before you fix Nigeria, maybe fix your own house. Your government has been in shambles. Millions of Americans are about to lose their SNAP benefits.
Nearly 42 million Americans have lost their food stamp benefits.
Your Congress can't even agree on keeping the government open.
Turning now to the latest on the government shutdown, now stretching into day 34.
If lawmakers do not reach an agreement on a deal to reopen the government, the shutdown could become the longest in U.S. history.
This weekend marks a critical point for millions of Americans as many face food insecurity, airport delays, and uncertainty about the cost of their health care.
The Epstein files has been swept under the rug.
Now we're seeing one very clear reason why you want to build a political FBI. The Epstein files. You want an FBI blindly loyal to Trump and to you as his enforcer so you can continue your cover-up of a massive international sex trafficking ring with more than 1,000 victims, betraying all of the survivors of the sexual violence. Before you got in this job, you called for full release of the Epstein files, telling podcaster Benny Johnson that the only reason the list was not released by DOJ and FBI was, quote, because of who's on that list.
How many times did President appear in the Epstein files? More than 100? More than 1,000?
No, and what we've been able to release is what we've been legally able to release.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The question has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
37% of Americans in our poll approve of the job Trump is doing. 63% disapprove. Take a look at his approval in this term over time. You see here, he was up hovering near 50% in his honeymoon after the inauguration, and it has been going down pretty steadily since, now at 37%. And also, just to give a sense here of how Americans are reacting to what he's doing, Trump has gone too far when it comes to using presidential power. 61% of our poll respondents say that is true. Trump has gone too far deporting undocumented immigrants. 57% say that is true. That's up from February. In fact, this question, Norah O'Donnell asked him on 60 Minutes last night. He said the exact opposite. He thinks it doesn't go far enough. The American people disagree, according to our new poll.
It's been hard on the United States since the tariffs. So they need money, oil money.
This is a graph showing two things, the price of oil and whether or not the biggest half dozen or so oil companies have a good ROI. And what's crazy about this graph is that when the line goes down, it takes a war to bring it back up. What this graph shows is that since around the 60s, almost every single war in the Middle East came after a moment of the petrocorp, the top fossil fuel companies, doing worse than the average Fortune 500 company. Before every conflict, fossil fuel companies were trailing behind. During every conflict, they start beating the average. And most importantly, they never managed to beat the odds without a war breaking out first. And I think you know why. Most of us understand that a lot of wars in the Middle East are about oil. We're usually told it's for other reasons, but we're not stupid.
Chemical weapons, terror attacks, cruel war against Kuwait,
of mass destruction.
And you know what hurts the most? It always works because we make it easy. Nigerians love selling out Nigerians. Every time a white man wants to help, there's a black man ready to hang for him.
Trump does not care about Christians. He just wants to come and take your mineral resources. What difference will that make? Mineral resources that Nigerians don't even benefit from. Mineral resources that are being enjoyed by a few select elites. I grew up in Nigeria. I was born and bred in Nigeria. For the longest time, we kept on hearing how Nigeria is so rich. We have lots of oil, but it has not made any difference in the lives of ordinary Nigerians. So why do you think that saying, oh, Americans are going to take your oil? Like, why do you think that that makes any difference? They don't care about you. Oh, they don't care about you. They don't care about you. Does the Nigerian government care about Nigerians? It's such an insult for Trump to speak to the Nigerian president like that. Who attracted that kind of insult and disregard by his incompetence? The Nigerian president. Oh, but Trump called Nigeria a disgraced country. But Nigeria is actually a disgraced country. Our leaders have made this country a hell of a mockery. Trump literally said the truth that we all know. It's a failed country. Do you guys want to know my honest opinion? One of the problems of Nigeria is that we took our independence too quickly. Shout and say whatever you want to say about colonialism. Show me the fruit of our so-called independence in the past 6 decades.
We've become so accustomed to eternal validation that we forget our self-preservation.
You are in support of America invading Nigeria.
100%.
Guns are blazing.
I said 100%. Since the government has refused to listen, and leaders are not even helping matters.
Wouldn't that affect the sovereignty of Nigeria? That's the question I'm asking.
You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are not telling you what to do, Abi. You now have a sovereignty where terrorists are on the dining table with government, telling government what to do, and leaders are supporting it in Moses. That's really my annoyance. Why would anybody utter such words? These are things you should frown at. Who brought them into Nigeria? Was Nigeria like this in 1999? Moses, please be sincere to yourself. Who brought them into Nigeria? What are they doing here? Why are they not in Ghana? Why are they not in the Republic of Benin? Please, why are they not in South Africa?
But let us be honest. Bola Ahmed Tinubu inherited a problem. He didn't start this, but he has the opportunity to fix it. For months, talks about insecurity have been going on. Bandits are roaming freely with heavy weapons, and somehow, nobody knows where they come from. Mr. President, you can find these people. You can fix us before it becomes another foreign headline. Donald, stay the hell out of Nigeria. We don't need another savior who comes wrapped in hypocrisy and greed. We need leadership. We need accountability. We need the courage to solve our own problems. Because this is a part of the story where we either rise or repeat history. America says it wants to fix us. But if you look at the records, they don't fix. They fracture. They come with a flag of liberty and live with the spoils of war. Nigeria is not perfect. Our leaders are flawed. Our systems are cracked. And our people are tired. But this country is ours. We fought too hard to let anyone rewrite our story in the name of protection. So yeah, Donald Trump, you can keep your threats, your troops, your Christian savior campaign. We will fight for ourselves. After all, we might be divided by tribe, tongue, but we are bound by blood and by history. And we don't need saving. We just need to wake up. So maybe this is the much needed wake-up call. Nigeria must protect Nigeria. If we don't, someone else will pretend to. And history shows we won't like how that ends. Salute.
What do we watch for here in the coming days and weeks?
Action by President Trump and action by the Nigerian government. I think the other thing you watch for is a military coup in Nigeria, which I wouldn't rule out taking place as well with these weakened governments that exist in the area and the success of military coups in the region. Those are three things I'd be watching for in the days and weeks ahead.